imagining by now you've at least tried one of the Crackdown games, eh? Otherwise, why would you be watching this? Pile of nonsense spunk. Good question. Let's roll on, shall we? And we'll, I don't know, I'll talk about Crackdown 3 for approximately 5 to 10 minutes. And then we'll move on with our lives. Sounds good? Good contract there, Chief Choppy Choppa Choops. Get it right, run, yeah. Now, Crackdown 3 is a game that's been rattling about for a while. It was mired in quite a bit of controversy, shall we say. Over-promised and under-delivered. Sort of. I didn't really care for the destroy the whole city thing. I thought that was always a bit stupid. Because, well, why would you want to do that? I mean, you'd end up running around a very, very flat playing field with nothing to jump on, nothing to hide behind, and just hundreds of rubble everywhere. It doesn't sound like fun. No, it sounds like as much fun as being buried up to your neck in sand with the tides coming in. Nah, I don't really think that sounds like a good time. So they pulled it back a wee bit and saved the destructible levels for the Wrecking Crew section, which is a multiplayer bit. Good thing about this game, you can choose to either install the campaign or the Wrecking Ball Zone. Fuck that. I don't play multiplayer games because there's too many dipshits out there and I'm one of the biggest ones. So, there you go. I'm shite at multiplayer games. I'm shite at games, man. Terry Crews was also heavily involved in the marketing for this game. I thought that was utterly hilarious.
Whack, whack, motherfucker!
Wonder if he regrets that. I hope not, because I think it was funny. It was unintentionally comedic. It's like, this is just bollocks, innit? It's like watching these adverts with big crews on screen, pumping these gums. You can actually play him in this. Don't play him as Terry Crews, you play him as his character he plays in the game, but you can play the game with Terry Crews' coupon. I've decided not to do that, as you'll see, because fuck that. If this game had come out round about now, it'd be The Rock that'd be in these adverts with his energy drink kicking out his arse, because that's all he's good for these days. Although I did enjoy Black Adam. I'm not gonna mince my words here. I thought Black Adam was a good time. I think people just expect a wee bit too much from comic book movies, forgetting that they are based on comic books. Not that that makes them intellectually bankrupt, but I like a wee bit more things, a bit more flavourful when it comes to comic book, a bit more crash bang wallop, you understand? This is what you get with Crackdown 3, and this was one of the complaints. It's too much like Crackdown 1 and 2! It's too much like Crackdown 1 and 2. That's kind of like saying Doom 2 is too much like Doom 1, although that might actually be a valid criticism of Doom 1 and 2. Or it's like saying, all the Call of Duty games are the same. Or it's like saying all the Dark Souls games are the same. You know what I'm getting at. People have selective biases, I suppose. If you love Dark Souls, you're not going to slag it, and you'll slag everything else around about it. And you'll say things like, oh, Far Cry 6 is the same as Far Cry 3. Not really understanding that you're a big Dark Souls fan and you've played Dark Souls the last 10, 15 years and haven't got the brains to realise that they're all the fucking same. Oh look, Elden Ring came out, yeah, it's just Dark Souls in an open world, sorry, so it is, nothing special, it looks nice, played like shit when it came out and we fucking forgot about that, didn't we? This game never had such controversies surrounding it, at least I don't think so, not that I can remember. This was back in 2013, and then when the game eventually did come out, like 12 years later, oh, that's how it felt to me. Haha, I'm being satirical, you fan Dan. I can't actually remember when this game came out, like 2016, 2015? No, more like 2019. I don't know. It was a while ago. Either way you slice it, my memory's not that great, and who really gives a fuck? So, the game's been out a while. If you've got Game Pass, give it a bash, I'd say. Anyway, let's talk about the game. Set in a city, another big fucking futuristic city with a name that I forget. And it's got like a sort of nemesis system where you can see all your... Well, I say it's got a nemesis system, it's got the layout of the nemesis system, okay? They don't fucking remember you. But you can see all the bosses and all the wee generals like the wood in Shadow of Mordor, right, okay? And then you can select like between 12 different, I think it's more than 12, or maybe it's less than 12, but it's around about that number, of agents of varying degrees of skin tone and sex. You can do what you like. I've went a woman in this case. The last time I played it, I went a guy with a beard. I just sometimes like to go the female characters in video games to change things up a wee bit, okay? Just a wee bit of variety. A wee bit of bounce and pep to my step, you understand? Anywho, the hoobity habbity hibbity is what you would expect. One of the bigger changes I liked in this game was the fact that you can double jump, because you get a wee backpack on your back. Woohoo! A wee backpack on your back, and you can double jump to get those green orbs. You can also drive your cars again like you can, but the handling's no that great. It's a bit Saints Row 1, if you know what I mean, or Saints Row 2 if you prefer. The car handles like pure jobby on a fucking skating rink, okay? So I don't recommend using the vehicles. I recommend you run, jump and crash bang and wallop, because it's a lot more fun and you'll get to where you're going faster because you don't need to stick to a road. You can just jump everywhere. You can also disable the HUD if you want those photo mode moments. I'm sorry, there's no photo mode in this game. This was before they became popular, I think. I was just playing it there, actually, and I totally forgot what game I was playing, because it looked like I was playing Agents of Mayhem, and then I think how much Agents of Mayhem really did rip this off. I keep thinking Agents of Mayhem's a Crackdown game, but it's set in the Saints Row universe, but you'd be forgiven for thinking otherwise. Don't get me wrong, I think Agents of Mayhem's fun. I know a lot of folk hated it, but it really is Crackdown. That's funny. And you're in a beautiful cyberpunk city in this game. It's massive. The scale is just something else. It's beautiful. The people say the graphics are bad, and I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck? Bunch of twonks. I now want to talk about the guns. Kinda behaves in the way the last ones did. I mean, if you find them and you go back to a wee, supply point, you'll save them. Things like that. Plasma guns, shotguns, pistols, rocket launchers, machine guns. The hand-to-hand combat in this game's much, much better. You can now combo it. It's a lot more fluid. Just feels so much better. Another thing, when you're jumping, if you're next to a building, you grabbed onto it, but you can actually jump, and then if you want to head left or right, you can run along the wall a wee bit. It's quite nice. Couldn't do that in the last ones. It would have been feckin' handy. Never mind. When it comes to secrets, it's standard fare, really. You know, you get your wee hidden blue orbs all over the place. You've got your green orbs all over the place. You've got wee things you can hack to do things to blow up, wee challenges here and there. It's fun. It's a fun time. This really could be considered a guilty pleasure game, but as I've said before, I mean, it's a sci-fi shooter with jumping. I mean, if you like the other ones, you'll like this. It's just that simple. Maybe not quite as much, but... or maybe even more. I think I liked it more because of the controls. Controls are far better in this. Far more fluid in every way. I think they've changed the buttons though, which I really fucking despise. I'm like, how the fuck do I get into this fucking car? Well, press LB rather than Y. How do I get out the car? Same again. How do I reload the gun? Press LB, and I'm fucking hitting all kinds of buttons. Throwing grenades, killing civilians. It's funny actually, but kind of frustrating. I just wish when they make these games, I know it's different companies. It's 3 different companies at this point. It was it Suda 51 or Sumo Digital? I can't remember. Something with an S and Umo in it, right? I think it's Sumo Digital that made this. Suda 51, they made the fucking, those pervy Japanese games. Was it Farters of the Damned and that Killer is Toast or something? I don't know. Do excuse me, I seem to have lost my goddamn mind for a minute. Aye, so this is on Game Pass. Get it downloaded. You could buy it for, an amulet made out of dolphin arseholes or something like that. I don't know how easy that is to come by. Especially in the middle of Scotland, like we are now. Or, sorry, I am now. West Central, right between Glasgow and Edinburgh. And it's snowing, of all things, right now. It's snowing, it's a winter's day, it's the middle of fucking March, and we should be halfway to summer by now, but the weather doesn't seem to understand that. Maybe a volcano erupted, I don't know. Anyway, thanks for joining in. Like, favourite, subscribe, jobby and all that shite. Fucking share it with your friends. Tell them far and wide how good these videos are. And I'll see you on the next one, whenever that may be. It might be in 2 days, it might be in 2 months. Who knows? Maybe that's why I'm not growing in this platform very well. Good night.